Hello there, my little friends. Oh, welcome to a very special, fun-filled adventure today. I am just so happy you're here with me. Are you ready to use those bright eyes and smart brains of yours? Because today we are going to be little truth seekers in our very own great mystery explainer. We have some amazing puzzles to solve, new friends to meet, and magical stories to share. So go ahead and wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and let's get started.
Okay, let's dive into this. Let me ask you a very important question. Do you love playing hide and seek? I know I absolutely do. Don't you just love covering your eyes, counting all the way to 10, and then searching everywhere for your friends who are hiding? Finding things that are hidden is just so much fun, right? Well, did you know that there are grown-ups whose entire job is to play a giant game of hide and seek every single day? It's true.
Section 1. Meet the detective. So, let's meet our very first special helper of the day. You know, we call this person a detective. Let's say it together, okay? D-tech-tive. Wonderful job. A detective is kind of like a superhero who doesn't wear a cape, but they use their superpowered eyes and ears to figure things out.
A detective is basically a helper who looks for little hints, which we call clues. Sometimes, people lose things, or even worse, they lose touch with people they love. So a private detective watches very, very carefully to help find family members they haven't seen in a really long time. Just imagine, a man hadn't seen his dear mother for 20 whole years, and a smart detective helped him find her. No way, right? Isn't that just a beautiful way to help someone?
But to be a really good detective, there is one absolutely crucial secret. Come a little closer. Let me tell you a secret. You have to have patience. Can you say that word softly? Patience. That just means you have to be able to sit very quietly, still as a little mouse, and wait for a long, long time. Sometimes a detective actually has to sit watching a door for 6 whole hours without even moving. Wow, that takes so much patience.
Section 2. Finding hidden things. Looking for clues. Okay, so now that we know what a detective does, how do they actually solve a big mystery? Well, they have to use those bright eyes of theirs to look for secret clues that are hidden right in front of us.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is this funny little box right here. It looks like a bunch of little black and white squares all mixed up, doesn't it? It's like a giant puzzle. But this is actually a magical secret clue. Only a true detective knows that if you look really, really closely with a special camera, this puzzle unlocks a secret message. You are literally looking at a real hidden clue right now. How cool is that?
Section 3. The Truth Seeker. Biome Cache Bakshi. Well, since you are getting so incredibly good at finding clues, I want to introduce you to a very famous superhero from our very own Indian stories. His name is Biome Cache Bakshi.
Byomkesh Bakshi is a truth seeker. You see, a wonderful writer named Sharadindu Bandyopadhyay created Byomkesh a long, long time ago. But Byomkesh doesn't like to just be called a detective. No, he calls himself a truth seeker. A truth seeker is someone who is super brave and always wants to do the right thing and find out what is true. He goes on these big adventures to help people and keep them safe. Don't you want to be a brave truth seeker too? I bet you do.
Section 4. Playing with words. Finding opposites. You know, detectives have to be very smart with their words. So it is time for a fun detective word game. We are going to look for things that are exactly the opposite. An opposite is something that is completely, totally different. Are you ready to play? Put those thinking caps on tight.
Hot and cold. Look right here. If you step outside on a bright, sunny summer day, you might feel very, very hot. But what is the exact opposite of a hot, sunny day? Think about what happens when you hold an ice cube. Shout it out if you know it. Yes, cold. Brr, so cold. I am shivering just thinking about it.
Beautiful and ugly. Let's try another one. My smart little truth seekers. If a butterfly has lovely, colorful wings, we say it is so, so beautiful. But what is the exact opposite of beautiful? Can you guess? It's ugly. But remember, to a true truth seeker, everything in nature has its own special kind of beauty. You are doing so, so well. Let's do one more together.
Smart and foolish. Okay, if you read lots of books, play fun puzzles, and learn new things every single day, you become very, very smart. So what is the opposite of being smart? It is being foolish, which kind of means doing silly things without really thinking first.
but I know you are all incredibly smart for playing this game so perfectly with me.
Wow, you did it! Yay! Let's give a big giant cheer. You really did it. You are honestly the most amazing word detectives I have ever seen. Go ahead and give yourself a big pat on the back. You used your smart brains to solve all of those tricky word puzzles. Fantastic job!
Let's move to and see how this builds. Are you ready for a story? After all that hard detective work, I think it's time to just relax for a minute, get nice and cozy, take a big deep breath, and let's travel back to a magical time, long, long ago.
Section 5.
The Kind King Shibi, a tale of justice. Once upon a time, there was a very great and powerful king named King Shibi Rana. He sat on this big, shiny throne, surrounded by the most beautiful, majestic gardens, filled with bright flowers and tall trees. But you know, King Shibi was famous everywhere, not just for his big palace, but for being very, very fair and kind to absolutely everyone.
One sunny day, a tiny, scared little dove came flying as fast as her little wings could flap. She flew right into the king's lap to hide, and right behind her was a big, fierce, hungry eagle who wanted to eat the little dove for his dinner. Oh no! But the brave King Shibi put his hand so gently around the little dove and promised to protect her from that big eagle. So the crucial point is, the eagle was hungry, and it wouldn't be fair to let him starve, right? King Shibi was so generous and kind that he just smiled at the eagle. He said, "Please do not hurt this little dove. I will give you my very own food, as much as you need, so you won't be hungry anymore." The king literally offered his own things just to keep the tiny bird safe. And then, oh my goodness, a big magical twist happened. Whoosh! The big fierce eagle and the tiny scared dove disappeared. They weren't just birds. They were actually the magic gods Indra and Agni playing a giant game of hide-and-seek to test the king's heart. When they saw how incredibly kind the king was, they smiled a big, bright smile, and they gave King Shibi a beautiful, shiny blessing for his goodness.
You know, just like King Shibi, and just like our detective Byamkesh Bakshi, you can be an everyday truth seeker too. Because the best truth of all is simply being kind. So, my wonderful little detectives, I leave you with a very big question to think about today. Who will you share your kindness with today? Will it be a friend, maybe your family, or even a little bird outside? Thank you so much for joining me on this magical mystery explainer today. Keep looking for clues, keep being kind, and keep smiling. See you next time.